Yes.
Okay, you're ready. Okay, we are at Orchard Park High School. The date is Friday, November 3rd, 2006. We are interviewing Mr. Pete Hurd, who was in the military service during the Vietnam era. The interviewers are...
Elizabeth Holly.
Hannah Wessler.
Joe Cardinal.
Okay. I'll leave you guys with Mr. Hurd, answer all the questions, learn about life, what life was like in the service during the Vietnam War, and I'll be back. Don't leave until I get your picture. At the end of the interview, one of you three come down and get me, take your picture, okay?
Okay. All right, I'll start. Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I enlisted.
Enlisted? Okay. Do you recall your first days in service?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, I was very proud, and I think most people tell you if you enlist that once you get to boot camp and the first time you go on the parade field and they play the national anthem and they play Anchors Away, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, that you're proud to be there and proud to be serving your country.
Okay. Tell me about your boot or training camp, boot camp.
I was outside Chicago at Waukegan, Illinois, and I spent 6 weeks at boot camp there. Boot camp is not as rigorous in the Navy as it would be in the Marine Corps. You had to wash all your clothes by hand and learn how to take and fold them and learn the language and the discipline and the culture. That's primarily what boot camp is learning a culture that you have a deck, you don't have a hallway, you got things in it, a fantail, a forecastle, and what you're talking about. And it's very, very disciplined, and if you keep your nose clean and are in pretty good physical shape, you get right through it. If you're not, then you can have problems and be sent back or discharged.
Where were you stationed?
I was stationed, when I got out of boot camp, I was stationed at A school in Providence, Rhode Island. And then from Providence, Rhode Island, I went to the USS Anthony Peter Damato, DD-871. And I spent 4 years on DD-871 out of Norfolk, Virginia.
What was your job assignment there?
I was a navigational quartermaster. You know what a navigational quartermaster does? You're in charge of all of where the ship is, all of the charts. You do all the plotting. You're in charge of Moran, which you take all the fixes so that you know where you are. You take and shoot the stars, the sun, so that the captain of the ship and the executive officer knows exactly where the ship is at all times. And you're also the alongside helmsman, where you get in a perilous situation, either coming into port or alongside for fueling, and that you're taught and you're on the helm to steer the ship. And the log, the quartermaster log is the official record of the ship.
Were there any casualties like that you experienced or on your ship?
Yes. I have 2 Armed Forces Expeditionary Medals. I did not go. I was in prior to now I'm starting up. We were in Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Istanbul, Turkey, but we had one radioman killed at sea. He did something and was electrocuted. And right after I was out of the service, my ship left for Vietnam and was hit and ended up in dry dock, and there was 4 casualties on it.
So you never actually went to Vietnam?
No, I didn't go to Vietnam. I went to Cuba. I was prior to. I was right when the Cuban crisis went on, when Kennedy, right in that era, when Kennedy was assassinated. Then we went down, and you probably don't remember, we chased the mystery ships and the blockades, and then we went to the Dominican Republic when there was a revolt there, and we evacuated the American citizens and protected the U.S. interests there, and then we were in Istanbul, Turkey, when there was the uprisings in Turkey.
What was the food like while you were in the Navy?
Naval food was good food. I mean, you had extended periods where you were at sea, and you didn't get fresh milk. You had powdered milk in it, but on the whole, the food was very good. You know, good cooks, fresh bread, fresh food. It was good. We were fortunate. The Army doesn't get that.
How did you stay in touch with your family?
Only way you could at that time was letters. When you're at sea, you send the letters, and they pick them up either if mail went out, it went out through the carrier. They'd come over and pick up mail, and then the mail would go out to the carrier, and the carrier would put it out to the fleet post office.
Where did you, what did you think of your officers and fellow soldiers? Were they all very disciplined or?
Well, you know, it's like any large organization. You have good and you have bad. You know, nobody is ever going to tell you that everybody who was in the military was a great person. They're not going to say they were bad people. The main thing is everybody did their job. When you go into combat, everybody has to perform together, and that's what happens.
Do you recall a day when the war ended? Like, what were you doing?
I was out of the service when the Vietnam War ended. I was out. I was in Canada, actually. I didn't go there for that serving. I was on vacation.
Like, while on board the ship and stuff, did you, like, pull pranks on any of your fellow?
Yeah, there was some pranks pulled, but I'd rather not get into that.
Is there anything that was like humorous or like an unusual event on board the boat?
I have to think about that. Humorous and eventful. Well, the most humorous thing that everybody thought was a joke is we were pulling into Greece, and we had a review by the King of Greece, and we had to take and stop in the middle of the ocean with salt water all over the ship and paint the entire ship up all over again at sea to go by a reviewing stand, which 2 days later was all rust from the salt water. So, you know, that was kind of, you know, different.
Did you join a veterans organization?
Yes, I did.
What career did you do after the war? Did you continue with something else?
I was the first full-time manager of the West Seneca Chamber of Commerce, and after that I was vice president of printing business, and I changed careers, and I was the president and founder of Epco Manufacturing in Buffalo, which manufactures recycling equipment. I sold that company, and I'm the managing partner of a company, HJA International, that is involved in recycling all over North America and the Caribbean, the recycled products, and build equipment for it.
How did your experiences in the service affect your lives?
Oh, I went in at 18 years old directly. I signed up my senior year of high school and went in the fall of the year I graduated. And it immensely. I grew up in the service. You know, I was a little bit wild in high school, and it was learned how to be a man and how to take care of yourself.
Is there anything you would like to add? Anything?
Well, if I was to tell you people something, just don't believe everything you read and everything you hear on TV. Today, the news media has gotten so saturated that the least little thing, and what the views they tell you are not necessarily the views of the troops that are in the combat zones and the ones that are serving. They twist a lot of stuff. I know that I'm the commander of the American Legion Post, and we have a number of returning veterans, and what they tell us is quite contradictory to what you see in the media and their feelings about what's going on. And I know I'm also a member of VFW and AMVETS, and that's the same. One of the problems we have is that the veterans organizations over the years, because a lot of Vietnam veterans did not join the Legions and the VFW, that the membership of these organizations are getting quite old. But we're very happy to see that the Iran-Iraq vets that are coming in and the Afghanistan vets are joining and getting younger people there. All of these organizations do one thing: they protect the veteran. Without them, politicians have a tendency to forget. Without them, you'd have no GI Bill. you'd have no health care benefits and things of that nature. Child care for parents and help when someone's deployed. In the Navy today, on an aircraft carrier, you can go to sea for a year and never see home again for a year. So those families need support, and they need support when they get out. And that's what your American Legion, VFW, and AMVETS does, is it supports these people and their families. And that's very important and something that has to be carried out.
Overall, would you say it was a positive experience? Would you recommend it to still seniors graduating from high school?
I think I would recommend it to the right personality. You know, some people, when they graduate from high school, are ready to go to 4 years of college and go on in a career. Other ones are not going to take full advantage of a college education. They're going there because mom and dad want them to go. I would think a two-year or 4 year would be very appropriate. I think they would learn a lot, grow up a lot, learn about themselves. That when they go back and go to college or go to work, they have a career path that's firmly established, and their education then is put to work, and they'd find that in the long run they make a lot more money.
Any more questions? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay.